Good morning, guys, and welcome to another episode from my vlogging series. Where I'm putting out new videos every Monday and Wednesday, sharing exactly what I'm doing as a commercial photographer based here in Barcelona, in Spain. And the kind of information I'm putting out in these videos, you won't find it anywhere on the internet because this is the real world information coming out from a commercial photographer specializing in shooting drinks and cosmetics, right? So make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you don't miss out on these videos. And by the way, this I think is going to be episode number 7 from my vlogging series. So if you have missed out on the previous episodes, do make sure to check them out as well. Now today, the task is to shoot a beer video with 3 sequences, and where basically I'm trying to show the experience of enjoying a chilled beer on a sunny summer day, right? So in the first sequence, I'm showing a droplet of, a condensation droplet sliding along the surface of a bottle. In the second sequence, I'm showing, it's basically a pouring shot. So we are pouring beer into a glass. And in the third shot, I'm going to show the close-up of that glass of, freshly poured beer where the fizz is rising and, all sort of good stuff to make it look very, very appetizing. Now, I'm going to show you what exactly I'm shooting in just a moment. But just to give you some context here, I have already shot the first sequence on Friday, and today it's Monday. And luckily, I still have the set from the previous shoot right here. And I think that although I've done the first sequence, but I think कि थोड़ा सा और better हो सकता है. So I'm going to give it another try today before moving on to the next 2 sequences. And I have to move pretty fast because it's already a little late in the morning, and I have to finish this entire video of 3 sequences today itself. So I'll take you along with me and let's get started. Alright, so the first sequence is done, and what happened was, while I was keeping the or placing the bottle on the set, I got just the perfect condensation drip that I wanted in the exact same way. But unfortunately, the camera was not recording at that point of time, so I missed getting that moment. And after that, I tried a couple of times, but when you're shooting liquids, you can never have absolute control on the way liquid behaves on set, right? That's just the nature of shooting liquids. So anyways, I managed to capture quite a few options, and I'm pretty happy with the result. This is how it looks. Let's play it back on the camera so you can see. And the idea was to capture the drop sliding down the bottle, and along with that dragging the ice slush with it. So I just managed to capture that. So there goes down the drop and dragging the slush along with it, right? Now, you can plan out these things, but it'll never happen in the exact same way. By luck, it happened for the first time, which I missed. But anyways, I'm pretty happy with the result that you see right here. And this is how the condensation looks on the bottle, the styling part. So this is the ice slush and the condensation right here. Alright, so now let's move on to the next part of capturing the pour, right? Alright, so the second sequence is also done, and I had to take a lot of shots, a lot of attempts to finally get what I wanted, and I'm pretty happy with the result. So let me first show you what I've got here. This is the pouring shot, and I'm going to play it back right from the camera. So let's have a look at the raw footage right here. This is how it looks. And of course, I'm going to play it back in slow motion in post, but the lighting on the bottle looks good. The pour looks fantastic. So I'm very, very happy with it. Now, when you're doing these kind of pours, there are 2 possible ways to do it. First is where you fix the bottle on the set, by cutting the bottom. so that the bottle stays in position. And let me show you what I mean by that. Something like this, where the bottle is fixed on the set. But of course, I mean, here I haven't cut the base of the bottle. I fixed the bottle on the set just to light it. And once I had my lighting in place, I just, did the pour naturally by holding the bottle in my hand, because I wanted to have a very, very realistic looking pour in my video, right? So this is one way of doing it. Of course, when you fix the bottle and you cut the base, that is a much more favorable situation, because in that case, once the bottle is fixed on the set, the focus can be very precise, the lighting can be very precise. But once you are moving the bottle, everything changes continuously, because you have to be very, very careful to keep the bottle in focus. You have to have a lighting setup that looks good even when the bottle is changing positions continuously, right? So anyways, I'm pretty happy with the lighting setup and the result that I've got. Now let's move on to the last and final sequence before finishing the shoot off. All right, so finally the third sequence is done. I had a long day today, and in fact, for the last sequence, I couldn't take the BTS because I was just rushing through the last couple of minutes, so I had to finish it off. But anyways, I'm pretty happy with the result. What I was trying to capture was, this fizz rising up in the glass. In fact, let me just show it to you, and I'll play it back on the camera so you can have an idea of what I'm talking about. So basically, I'm using a syringe to create this pressure in the glass so that the fizz rises up nicely, to have a nice and crisp shot of the fizz. And in fact, I'll be using just this part of the glass, so I'm planning to crop it out in the final video. So anyways, there you have it. And if you guys are enjoying watching these kind of videos where I'm showing you the real-time BTS from these shoots, do let me know in the comments, because it takes a lot of effort to do two things simultaneously, shooting and recording it for these YouTube videos. So let me know if you're enjoying this series, and of course, if you have any doubts or questions, do let me know. I'll definitely get back to you, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.